Well, this is a nice van here. Let's see if anybody's home. Hello, anybody home? Whoa, electric door and everything. Hey, look at who's here. This is Marshall. Marshall, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Mellow Nomadic Adventures is Marshall's channel, and he's built this really cool stealth van, camping van. And as we walked up on it, we could see it looked like a normal van, but it certainly is more than that. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. So one of the first things that I was concerned about to make it stealth was the blackout curtains for the windows. I ended up making 5-layer window covers for my windows, and these also offer a bit of insulation.
Yeah.
Because they are 5 layers.
Okay.
In the center is a plastic cardboard is the best way to describe it, and it's called chloroplast. And then I put reflectix on each side, and then the black fabric I just hot glued.
Okay.
And
you've obviously tested it, and it works really well in the cold weather.
Works really great to keep that cold air. The windows are a weak spot for heat, and so it really helps keep the cold air from coming through there.
All right, and you've obviously got a bed there.
Yep, and I was inspired by Bob Wells from Cheap RV Living. He did a similar bed, platform style bed. I'll lift up and show you a little bit here. I made it in 2 pieces since I'm a solo traveler. I want it to be able to, if I need it to, take this in and out. And having it in 2 separate pieces, it helps me take it in and out by myself.
Okay.
So, and then, so I did the platform bed. I did some holes in it.
Yeah.
And I also did a stain blocker. And then the mattress is a 6-inch memory foam, and I have a mattress cover followed by my sheet set, sleeping bag, fleece insert sleeping bag, the Mexican throw.
Right.
And then this is a Walmart special heated blanket that comes in really handy on the cold nights.
All right, and so that's a 12-volt blanket, is it?
This is a 12-volt.
So it plugs into a cigarette lighter type receptacle. Okay.
And you'll have, on this one I have a low, off, or a high, and I believe it's 20 minutes. After 20 minutes it kicks off.
Okay.
Just as a
so
safety.
It doesn't kill your battery, whatever you're plugged into. And you're using a Jackery to power that?
Yes. And so I'm using the small Jackery to power this.
Oh, very nice. And that works for you on cold nights. So I think tonight we're going to be down to 28.
Ooh, yeah.
So that'll be handy for sure. And looks very comfortable. And then what is this black box here that we're looking at?
All right. So this is my refrigerator that I have with me. I started with the cooler and ice system, and after several trips like that and having to drain the liquid off your cooler every day and just buying ice, I was like, man, I want to save up. So I saved up and got this Iceco JP, I think it's the JP40 refrigerator.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
You have a little compartment for produce. It's got a nice basket that comes in and out. Very deep down in there.
And you have a light in there too, so when you open it at night, you've got a LED light there, so you can see everything inside.
And I can fit a whole gallon of milk.
Nice. So is that a refrigerator only, or is it a refrigerator freezer?
So this has 2 modes, and you can choose here. You can choose to. So here you can take it all the way down to freezer mode if you want.
Okay.
Or you can keep it on. I usually keep it kind of just at 32. It's kind of in the middle.
By adjusting the temperature, you get what you need. Okay, that's nice. That's pretty versatile.
And it also has an eco mode, which when you have the eco mode on, it lasts a lot longer on your battery.
All right. And again, this is an Iceco.
Iceco.
Yeah. Okay. And you've got the wrap on it too, the protective cover on it, which helps during the heat especially, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
And another thing that I do during extreme heat is I'll take one of my pillows during the daytime and just put it on top.
Okay, to keep the solar loading down, so you're not...
I mean, the blackout curtain here does keep a lot of the sun out when I have the door shut.
Okay.
But I heard someone mention this as a tip to put a pillow on top, and it helps your...
All right, I see. And so you have a really nice divider here, dividing the front and the back, and I like how you did the rope accent. It really sets it off nicely. Now, did you make the curtain?
So what I did with the curtain is I ordered one panel from Amazon. It's a thermal blackout curtain. It actually has some sound dampening qualities to it too, although I don't really need that, but
yeah.
I ordered one panel, cut it in half. I have snaps that I put on.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So that I can, if I wanted to, I could easily just pop this down.
Okay.
Usually because of this trying to be,
stealthy.
If I'm trying to be stealthy, I just keep it up.
And so that keeps the sun, the light from showing out through the front seats there when you're parked at night. And then you made this really nice wooden frame that goes all the way around that you attached to the body.
Right, and this frame attaches on each side. It's probably going to be difficult to see, but it goes under the seat. There's some of the framing.
Okay. Yeah.
It goes under the seat and actually bolts to the seat frame.
Okay, so it's good and solid. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and then up here, I just DIY route and did zip ties.
Right. Okay. And then you've got a floor in this thing too.
Yeah.
So that flooring gives you some insulation, and then you have some storage underneath for tools and things like that. Okay.
Yep. I have similar to the table you have. I have my pole and my hammer to hammer that in, and I have a tabletop that sits down on top of this pole. Just miscellaneous things that were thin enough to fit down there.
And then what kind of flooring is that you put in there?
This is a waterproof composite floor that you would put in your house.
Okay. And I like your attention to detail. I mean, you even put some nice edging on it.
Yeah.
That really looks good, and it helps prevent wear and tear on the floor as well, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
And one thing about the floor, this was my first time doing a floor like this, you have to have, normally there's a wall to keep these from sliding. Well, I didn't have any wall, so this acts as that edge for me.
Okay, so it holds everything in place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And what I did on this side, since there is no edge, it's a brad nail.
Yeah.
And I try to do those inconspicuously.
Okay.
And then just to cover up underneath the bed where I have tons of storage, I did snaps again and just some black fabric.
Boy, your attention to detail in this build is the best I've ever seen. I don't know what you guys out there think, but you've just done everything the right way, and it looks so good. And then you have some storage over here.
Yes, and so on this side, I appreciate that, Steve. On this side, I did a shelf. It's this wide, but it goes because of the way the windows of the van, it actually goes back.
So you had to contour it to the shape of the van, is that right?
I did, and what I did is I took cardboard and made a template for each shelf. So it's got a shelf here, it's got a shelf here, and then these I didn't really need a template on the bottom ones, but these they actually follow the curve of the van and all the contours to fit in there.
Nice. Okay, and then towards the back, let's walk around back if you can show us what you did there.
Sure.
And again, this is very stealthy. When you walk around this van, you can't tell that anybody's living in it or camping in it.
So in the back, I made the decision I didn't want to cook inside the van if I could avoid it. With cloth interiors and just everything, the clothing and bedding, it will absorb those smells of your cooking. And I was like, man, I just didn't want to do that. So I created this kitchen cabinet that has a flip down lid, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
And here I have my camp stove, all of my nesting cookware, pots and pans. This is a whole set with cups, pans, lids, and then I also have this pot if I want to make like some chili or something.
Sure.
I keep my spices I'm not super extensive on my spices. I have salt,
Right.
pepper, and garlic, but everything for cooking is here. So I have.
So it's a galley, basically, an outside galley on the back end of your van, and then you have some drawer storage, or actually a tote storage there on the left, where you keep.
Yeah.
Is that for clothing and things like that?
So on this side, it's a mix of washcloths, clothing type stuff, extra promo stuff, and then this is my junk drawer.
Okay. Everybody's got to have a junk drawer.
Yeah, I have things like stormproof matches.
Yeah.
A lint roller helps greatly with the sand that you track inside
Sure.
your van.
Yeah.
A life straw. I tried to think of.
So we call that a
anything.
miscellaneous drawer. It wouldn't be a junk drawer, because everything in this van is definitely usable and stuff that you need, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these I do consider all of this kind of necessities.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Absolutely.
Maybe not the playing cards,
Well, and
but
sometimes those are necessities when you're sitting inside with a friend and it's raining or cold and you need to play cards to pass the
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, and so you have water up here.
This is my USB rechargeable pump. You all have out there have probably seen these on Amazon. It's very inexpensive. You recharge it. There's a plug in the back, and you just hit that button, and the water will come out, which I have pumped. I ran a hose that I bought at Home Depot, and it just goes down through behind all the stuff, but it goes down through each shelf
Yeah.
to the bottom here. Where I have
Okay. There's your water tanks and
I have the 2 5-gallon freshwater tanks,
Yeah.
my collapsible sink.
uh-huh.
So when I need to do dishes, I'll just pop
okay.
this onto the table.
That's nice.
And I have a collapsible saw if I need that to cut any wood.
Yep.
Beside here, I have storage for if I'm going on like a little day hike or picnic. I have a little insulated bag here so I can keep some cool drinks in.
Okay.
And also have a cast iron reversible griddle grill that I can throw onto my Coleman.
Okay. So tell me about this model number here. What does this mean?
So this is actually what I ended up doing is reusing this piece of Luan on the front. This was left over from a box that I created for a short film called Blackbird.
Okay.
And we, with writer-director Mike Thompson, we created this movie. He is a huge, which I like Blade Runner too, but he's a huge Blade Runner fan. And this is a model number from the movie Blade Runner.
So that's actual wording left over from what you repurposed, basically, right, for your van build.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And he wanted to do, I guess you call it an Easter egg inside the movie, where it's like a homage to another movie.
Yeah.
And I ended up building this box for him. It had other decals too, but I ended up taking the front of the box, which this was from the front, and I used it for the outside of this. And also this piece is from the box. It actually was connected at one time.
I see. Yeah.
It was one long piece, and I cut it up.
Okay, and so what the significance of leaving that on there, is that a memory to remind you of your work there for that project?
So exactly, it's like in my own way, I wanted to pay homage to what I do during my day job, which helps fund this lifestyle, which is I build sets and design sets and props for film, TV series, commercials. And so I've tried to include little parts of my life throughout this build. This is in reference to the film part. My little tiny Buddha brings me peace. Now, I'm not a Buddhist or really religious person, but I like the candle holder. It's a peaceful thing. I've tried to bring some reading material, just different aspects of my life I've tried to
incorporate into this build
to bring with me.
Yeah, this is your home when you're on the road. Now you're right now you're a part-timer, is that right?
Right now I'm part-time.
Yeah.
I'm working towards going to full-time. I was hoping to do it last year, but maybe this year I could do it full-time.
So you're slowly transitioning to going full-time, and looks like you've got a good solution here for a full-time rig. And it's certainly stealthy, which means you can camp anywhere without anybody questioning, what you're doing there or anything, because it just looks like a normal van.
Yes, and I was inspired by so many channels out there on YouTube, and of course I wanted the bigger van, and I just wasn't in my budget, and I had this van, so I was
this is 2013. Yeah.
Dodge Grand Caravan.
So it's plenty new enough to give you good service for many years, and they're good vehicles, aren't they?
They're excellent vehicles in my opinion. I've not had, with the exception of regular maintenance and wear and tear, I had to put some new shocks and struts.
Sure.
After 8, let's see, it's turning 9 now, so after 9 years it needs shocks and struts.
Sure. And then you have a solar panel back here that you use to charge your Jackery.
Yes, and this is a 120 watt suitcase style. It folds up. It is a brand called Togo Power, and they've redesigned these panels now, this brand, to where they're thicker and it's just a single fold.
Right.
When I had bought this, it was in 2020, so it's an older model, but it works really well.
Well, we're experiencing a very windy day right now, and you could probably hear the wind noise, but watching this thing, it hasn't blown over, and that's a typical problem on these foldables, is they tend to blow over a lot, but this one is pretty stable.
Yeah, and these kickstands help a lot, and one thing I really like about this panel, and I don't know if a lot of panels are like this, but I don't even need a Jackery. I can charge my phone. I don't know if you can see. It has a USB-C and a USB. I can plug my phone or anything right directly into this panel.
Okay, and charge your phone directly from the panel.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice. That's a nice feature.
And it also has that pocket here where you can keep your cables together.
Okay, very nice, and that's working well for you. That's great. Okay, Marshall, thanks for your time. Everybody, don't forget to check out Mellow Nomadic Adventures, and Marshall has videos on his whole van build there. He's done a great job. You can see it's well done, very meticulously put together, painted, everything is edged, and he's in it quite often, and it's working great for him. So thanks a lot, Marshall, and appreciate you giving us the time to look at your build.
Thank you for the tour.